The camera opens with a sweeping shot of a bustling highway in Los Angeles. Gas-guzzling SUVs and sleek Teslas glide past, the sound of engines mixing with city life. A narrator's voice cuts in, low and suspenseful, designed to catch the viewer in the first 5 seconds. Imagine a car that never needs to stop at a charging station. A car that defies the rules of modern engineering, powering itself endlessly as long as you keep driving.
It sounds impossible, right?
Well, what if I told you that car doesn't come from Silicon Valley, Germany, or Japan, but from Africa? The shot cuts to a US driver, a mid-30s American man named Jason, standing beside a futuristic-looking electric vehicle parked on an airstrip. His hands rest on the hood, disbelief written across his face. When I first heard about it, I thought it was a scam, Jason says directly to the camera, his voice laced with skepticism. A self-charging electric vehicle? Come on. I've seen every so-called breakthrough in the EV market, and they all still rely on charging cables, batteries, or swapping stations. But then I flew across the world, to the heart of Africa, and what I found here, well, it changed everything I thought I knew about cars. The music builds, drums mixed with electronic beats. Quick flashes of African landscapes, lush greenery, dusty roads, busy city streets, intercut with shots of Jason slipping into the driver's seat. The steering wheel lights up, futuristic yet rugged.
The narrator cut back in.
This is the story of what happens when an American driver takes Africa's first self-charging EV for a spin. And trust me, nothing could have prepared him for what he discovered. Jason starts the car. Instead of the familiar hum of an electric engine winding up, there's a smooth surge of power that feels different. His eyebrows lift. That's not what I expected.
The airplane will screech against the runway as Jason's flight touches down in Nairobi.
Through the small oval window, he watches the African sun stretch across the horizon, painting the city in golden light. His voice cuts in as narration.
I'll be honest.
When I boarded that plane, I wasn't here to be impressed. I came with the mindset of a skeptic. I thought, sure, Africa is innovating, but a self-charging EV? That had to be marketing hype. Still, I needed to see it with my own eyes. The camera follows Jason dragging his suitcase through the airport terminal, the bustle of travelers, vendors, and locals surrounding him. He emerges outside to meet Samuel, a young African engineer in his late 20s, dressed in a clean shirt, sleeves rolled up, confidence in his walk. Jason, welcome to Kenya, Samuel says warmly, extending his hand. Jason shakes it firmly, eyeing the man with curiosity. So you're the guy behind this magic car?
Jason smirks. Samuel looked lightly.
Not magic.
Just engineering.
You'll see.
They drive through the lively streets of Nairobi.
Matatus, colorful minibuses painted with graffiti and blasting music, zip by.
Street vendor wave.
Motorbikes weave between traffic.
Jason stares out the window, captivated.
You know, Jason mutters, this isn't exactly where I imagined the future of cars would be born. Samuel glances at him. That's because the world never expects innovation to come from here. But sometimes, limits push creativity further than comfort does. The camera cuts to a warehouse on the edge of the city. The massive doors roll open, and there it is, the prototype self-charging EV, gleaming under fluorescent lights. It looks unlike anything Jason has seen. Sleek curves, bold edges, solar accents across the hood, but something deeper in its design radiates purpose. Jason circles the car slowly, running his hand along its body. It looks different. Stronger. Almost like it was built to survive anything.
Samuel no.
It was.
African road don't forgive weakness.
This EV had to be built tougher, smarter, and more independent than anything on the market. Jason slips into the driver's seat. The interior feels futuristic yet practical, minimalistic but purposeful.
Samuel leans in through the open window. Turn the key. Jason presses the start button.
The dashboard lights up with a soft blue glow. He waits for the usual silence of an electric car, or the faint whine of a motor, but instead, he feels a pulse, a vibration running through the steering column, alive, steady. His eyes widen. What is that?
Samuel smiles.
That is the future. The EV rolls forward effortlessly. Jason steers it out of the warehouse, the camera capturing every detail. the tires gripping dusty gravel, the sunlight bouncing off its body, the soundless power flowing as if the car is breathing. Jason laughs nervously. Okay, I'll admit it, this doesn't feel like any EV I've ever driven. It feels freer. Like it doesn't need to ask permission from a plug. They take it out onto the Nairobi streets. People turn their heads, pointing, smiling, whispering. Children wave at the futuristic vehicle gliding past matatus and motorbikes. Jason leans back, gripping the wheel tighter. You know, back home, people think Africa is just catching up. But driving this, it feels like Africa might actually be pulling ahead. The scene ends with the car merging onto the open highway, the city shrinking behind them, the African savannah stretching endlessly before them. Jason presses the accelerator, the EV responding instantly with silent force. His voice overlays the shot, full of awe. I thought I came here to prove this car was a lie. Instead, I think it's about to prove that I was.
The early morning sun creeps over the horizon, casting long shadow across the Kenyan savannah.
Jason adjusts his sunglasses, sitting behind the wheel of the EV as Samuel settles into the passenger seat with a small notebook. Today, Samuel says calmly, we push it further. Highways, dirt roads, hills, heat, you name it. No stopping for fuel, no stopping for charging. Let's see if you're convinced by the end of the day.
Jason smirks. All right, let's see if your miracle machine can handle some real American style punishment.
The camera follows the car as it speeds along the open highway. At first, Jason drives cautiously, his eyes flicking to the dashboard as though waiting for the battery percentage to drop. But it doesn't.
It remains steady. Ouais, hold on, Jason mutter, tapping the display.
I've been flooring it for nearly an hour, and the charge hasn't dipped. At all.
Samuel chuckle.
That's because it's replenishing itself as you drive. Every mile adds life, not takes it away. Jason shakes his head in disbelief. That's insane. The EV glides effortlessly past trucks and buses. The cabin is quiet, save for the faint hum of the road beneath them. Jason relaxes into the seat, his skepticism slowly giving way to curiosity. But then, Samuel gestures ahead. See that dirt path? Take it.
Jason frowns. The narrow road cut off the highway into rugged terrain, winding towards the hills. You want me to drive this thing off-road?
Man, back in the States, you'd void your warranty the second you tried something like that. Trust me, Samuel replies, his tone steady. It's built for this. Jason grips the wheel and turns sharply onto the dirt road. Dust erupts behind them as the EV powers forward. The suspension absorbs the bumps with surprising ease. Rocks, uneven ground, steep inclines. The car takes it all in stride. Jason laughs, half in shock, half in exhilaration. No way.
En EV handling off-road like this? You've got to be kidding me.
The camera cuts to wide shots of the car kicking up dust clouds as it climbs rugged hills, the African savanna stretching endlessly in the background. Herds of zebras scatter in the distance, startled by the futuristic vehicle blazing across the terrain. After hours of driving through punishing dirt roads, Jason finally slows, pulling the car to a stop beneath a lone acacia tree. He jumps out, brushing the sweat from his forehead, staring at the EV. I've been driving for hours. No pit stops, no charging stations, nothing. Back home, I'd be hunting for a plug by now. And this thing? It's like it's laughing at me. Samuel walks around the vehicle, dust settling on his shoes. That's the point, Jason. Africa can't rely on massive networks of charging stations the way America or Europe does. We had to build a car that doesn't need them. Jason leans against the hood, shaking his head in disbelief. Man, if this ever hits the US market, it'll change the game. Do you have any idea how many people would kill for a car that doesn't need charging? Road trips, cross-country drives. This destroys every limitation EVs have right now. As the day stretches on, Jason pushes the car harder, up steep rocky paths, through shallow rivers, across endless stretches of savanna dirt roads. Each time, the EV powers through without faltering. Finally, as the sun dips low, painting the sky in hues of orange and red, Jason eases the car to a stop on a ridge overlooking the valley. He steps out, breathing heavily, his shirt sticking to him from the heat. He looks at Samuel, then at the camera. I came here ready to prove this was a scam. But after today, I don't even know what to say. This isn't just a car.
This is freedom.
It's like driving with no strings attached. No gas stations, no plugs, no limits. The shot lingers on Jason, silhouetted against the fiery African sunset, the EV gleaming beside him like something out of the future. Narrator's voice closes the sequence. For Jason, this was more than a test drive. It was the first glimpse of a future the rest of the world still refuses to believe exists.